Run in just a bit, but ODM chief Raila Odinga will today formally launch his 5th attempt at the presidency. Raila's run of presidential bids began in 1997 when he emerged third behind the presidential candidate President Daniel Arap Moi at the time and DP candidate Mwai Kibaki. But it is his bid in 2007 and 2013 and 2017 that defines Odinga's so near yet so far tale of his state house dream in presidential races marked with claims of rigging and nullification of the poll outcome in 2017 by the Supreme Court. Will he be 5th time lucky? And just how different is his 2022 bid from the 4 unsuccessful shots at the country's top job? Francis Gashuri has more.
When voters line up to elect the country's 5th president on the 9th of August 2022, the name of Raila Amolo Odinga is likely to yet again enjoy prominence on the ballot paper. For the 5th time, the former prime minister will be taking aim at the state house job. On the election day, Odinga will be 77 years, 7 months and 2 days old. Born on 7th of January 1945, Odinga will be trying to better his 2017 performance. His claims of a botched presidential election in 2017 were affirmed by the Supreme Court that nullified the re-election of President Uhuru Kenyatta and ordered a repeat poll that Odinga boycotted.
Ati mimi nimesimama na nimeshinda na matokeo yanatangazwa vingine.
He returns to the ring for a 5th time and possibly his last time, hoping to bring to a happy end his long search for state house occupancy, even drawing comparison with his compatriots in Africa and beyond who have clinched the top seat after a series of misses.
Juzi tulienda huko kwa sherehe ya kuapishwa kwa rais wa Zambia bwana HH Hakainde Hichilema, rafiki yangu sana. Yeye alikuwa amesimama mara 5 beleni, ikawa hii ilikuwa mara yake ya 6 na ameshinda mara 3 kati ya hizo 6 na kutangazwa mshindi, lakini hakukufa moyo na baadaye sasa mara mwisho ameshinda.
In 1997, Odinga finished 3rd in the presidential contest behind the then incumbent Daniel Arap Moi and Mwai Kibaki, who came 2nd on a DP ticket. That time, the combined tally for opposition candidates was 3,536,601 votes compared to Moi's 2,445,801 votes. In the 2007 bitterly contested state house race, Odinga lost narrowly to Kibaki. The outcome of the poll triggered post-election violence that nearly plunged the country into a civil war, prompting intervention from the international community. A grand coalition government was crafted as part of a peace accord and power-sharing deal. In 2013, Odinga was yet again on the losing side, with TNA's Uhuru Kenyatta declared winner with a difference of over 800,000 votes. 4 years ago, Odinga disputed the presidential election results and successfully petitioned Kenyatta's re-election. His refusal to participate in the repeat poll and subsequent swearing in as the people's president sparked political anxiety in the country. His handshake with Kenyatta in March 2018, opening a new chapter in the country's political history book. Critics, however, accuse Odinga of going to bed with the government and participating in the death of formal opposition.
Mimi sijaingia kwa serikali ya Jubilee. Kama wanasema serikali ya Jubilee, mimi yuko na cheo gani katika serikali ya Jubilee? Mimi sijakuwa katika serikali ya Jubilee. Ile handshake ilituliza, ikaleta amani. Ikafanya sasa sisi tufanye kazi yetu kama Wakenya kwa kipindi hiki.
And so the Raila Odinga who takes a 5th stab at the presidency is a major departure from the candidate of 1997, 2007, 2013 and 2017.
This bid, for its consequence, is such that he has to make it to that high office or bids the thirst for that office goodbye forever. In fact, if he does not make it in 2022, Raila Odinga will have to contend with the ecclesiastical proclamation that there is time for everything, time for active political life and time to retire.
He has always said he had the last bullet, but I think this is the last. Perhaps if he doesn't shoot right this time, I don't think Raila Odinga will have another chance in the future.
With advancing age, time is not on Odinga's side. His personality and style of politics has significantly changed.
You know, people saw him as too aggressive for the presidency. What is this man likely to do? And perception is everything in politics. What is he likely to do if he ascends to the presidency? The way he's talking, the way he's threatening, how would he manage the country? Yet people have business interests and other interests. So that is the fear people used to have. But now, as he's running now as a moderate, kind of a moderate, I think he has a greater appeal to the public or to his critics than before. And when the flip side of it, it's like the deputy president has kind of taken that position he used to have. Really aggressive and not respecting, kind of existing structures, particularly at the base. He says, forget about those rich men, those tycoons, they're not the ones who vote, trashing the elites. And yet we know in politics, the elite matter because they have influence. They have the resources.
Honorable Raila Odinga has always been very confrontational. He has always been extremely adversarial. Honorable Raila Odinga has been this politician who has been a rabble-rouser par excellence. Today we're not seeing that. The ODM stalwarts and the party wingers that have always been at the front row of ODM and Raila Odinga's candidature. Right now we are seeing that it's like they're occupying the second row. And the front row seats have been left to new entrants or persons who are going to show and demonstrate that Raila Odinga is acceptable in areas that has not accepted him before, like Mount Kenya.
Odinga's handshake with Kenyatta in March 2018 has also shifted the country's political setup and unsettled the Jubilee Party succession plan that had Ruto as the presumptive successor, Kenyatta often throwing subtle hints on Odinga as his preferred successor, with Ruto effectively sidelined.
Ukikuja waambio huyu ni mzee, hafai, tunataka kijana, sijui huyu ni ako namna hii, huyu ako namna hii, huyu ako namna ile. Uongozi uko hapa. Uongozi sio mpira ya kuchezwa kwa kiwanja. Uongozi sio sprint, ni marathon. Wewe utakimbia hapa, by the time umefika pale pumzi imeisha. Lakini mzee amekanyanga polepole akuja kupitia ukiwa bado kwa barabara.
In the run-up to his presidential bid declaration, Odinga has enjoyed the not-so-covert backing of the state and its machinery.
It is nearly open, the kind of support that Raila Odinga is getting from the state. And it may be beneficial for his candidature. But also, the state can be the anathema to your candidature. If at all, its approval rating is extremely low, the atrocities committed by the same state government is far too many, to the chagrin of the populace, then whenever the candidate of the state or sponsored by the state, backed by the state, appears anywhere, will be a candidate that will be reminding the people of the misfortunes of that government. And that's when now the folly of the state's backing to any candidate.
The deep state can make you or they can deny you the presidency. It is a fact that the deep state gets information, they can share information, they can influence. There are many ways that the state can influence the will of the people. There are many ways.
Odinga, in his fifth attempt at the presidency, has to contend with the project tag, with the state machinery seemingly backing his bid.
Wewe ukiniangalia mimi Raila Odinga, unafikiri mimi naweza kuwa project ya mtu yote? Mimi nacheka. Manake mimi nimesimama na Uhuru 2013 na 2017. Si unajua namna hiyo. Sasa hata yeye anajua vile mimi niko. Hata yeye mwenyewe anacheka. Ukisema ati mimi ni project yake. Sasa yeye atakuwa amepata subject kubwa sana. Mimi siwezi kuwa project ya mtu yoyote. Mimi ni project ya Wakenya.
Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote.
Though President Kenyatta is yet to declare Odinga as his preferred successor, the preference is increasingly proving a rather poorly kept secret.
Uhuru Kenyatta has I could say he has not formally, but in his discussions, in his speeches, he has endorsed a leadership of Raila as the president. He has said so many things which I cannot speak here, and it means then that his preferred candidate, as a person I guess, and as a president, is Raila Odinga.
He has never had the full backing of the state. For the first time in his political history, he seems to be the state's favorite candidate. Secondly, Raila Odinga, as he is right now, has got the favor of a very strong Mount Kenya backing that is coming through the Mount Kenya Foundation. He has never had such kind of favor before.
His forays in the vote-rich Mount Kenya region has occasioned a cat-and-mouse game with Ruto, who is seen to have enjoyed an upper hand in the region since 2013. The two contenders have run an aggressive, sustained campaign for the central Kenya vote.
Arambe! Arambe!
In the last three presidential races, Odinga was profiled as the object of rejection and a leader who would not be good for business and investment. In his 2022 bid, the perceptions are seemingly softening, while the man is seen as substantially mellowed from the firebrand of yesteryears. Once a pariah in the region, Odinga has been seen to walk into the warm embrace of business tycoons from the Mount Kenya region, who now term him a safe pair of hands.
The purpose of today's meeting, we have been explained by Titus, is for us to host the forthcoming president of Kenya.
Na tukubali ya kwamba sisi wakati tulikuwa tunashindana na baba, tuliharibu jina yake sana. Tuliharibu jina yake na ilikuwa tu ni uongo, ni siasa ile politicking. Sasa imefika wakati tuingie mashinani, tuambie watu wetu ukweli, hii ilikuwa ni porojo, ilikuwa ni siasa.
But as Odinga formally declares his fifth stab at the presidency, he has to contend with his past friction with fellow opposition leaders Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka and Moses Wetangula, who he had teamed up with in the 2017 race. Through the National Super Alliance, NASA, the trio, alongside KANU chairman Gideon Moi and former Lugari lawmaker Cyrus Jirongo, have constituted the One Kenya Alliance, OKA. President Kenyatta has had at least 3 meetings with the opposition leaders at State House Nairobi and Mombasa to lobby them to field a joint presidential candidate in the race against his deputy next year.
Nimesikia wengine wakisema ati kuna masimu, sijui kuna wengine wanashurutishwa waunge mkono sijui nani. Mimi sijaona hata wakati mmoja. Hakuna wakati mwingine mimi tumeketi chini kama viongozi ambaye mtu aliambiwa ungani mkono fulani au fulani. Na hakuna mtu ambaye anaweza kusurutishwa akulazimishwa kuunga mkono mtu fulani.
The biggest disadvantage that he might face, I see it as OKA. OKA is his biggest challenge there. If OKA fields a presidential candidate and he shares the support with OKA, then that might take away some of his traditional strongholds, particularly in the western and in eastern, particularly in Ukambani. So that would be his greatest challenge, I would say.
If the OCA team attends the Raila function, the Azimio function, the declaration on Friday, it will show some meekness, weakness, and near desperation on their part to identify with Raila Odinga. That in fact, actually, their politics is made or strengthened by associating with Raila Odinga. Because attending the Azimio function on Friday by the OCA team without having had any formal discussions with Raila Odinga that could potentially lead to a collaboration or association with him, then it could mean that they are salivating at his political chances.
Once he formally declares his presidential bid, Odinga's next big headache will be the choice of a running mate, with the proposal to expand the executive through the Building Bridges initiative hitting a snag. The slots available for power-sharing deals and coalition building remain limited. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.